All right. All right, hands down. Who here feels like you are constantly in a brain fog? You wander around, you might enter a room, and then you're like, why am I here again? Total brain fog?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Well, raise your hand if you have been told by your doctor that your labs are normal. Maybe you've also been told it's all in your head or you're just getting older. Raise your hand. All right. Well, I see lots of hands that are up, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about today and tell you a little bit about my journey and how I formula you. You see here, I have a shirt that even says it's not all in your head. My name is Tali Kentof. I have a master's in education, and I recently earned a doctorate in functional medicine. I also am a master herbalist and a functional wellness coach. But in order to know who I am, we have to take a step back and look at who I was. So here is me about 10, 15 years ago. I'm also a former pharmaceutical sales representative. I used to sell a statin. I called on cardiologists and I called on doctors and I thought I was changing lives. Later, if you want to talk to me about cholesterol and how important cholesterol is to your body, come see me. We'll have a completely different conversation about statins. But during this time, when I was a pharmaceutical sales representative, my health was declining and it started very low and slow. I started to have these little symptoms like I was tired, I had brain fog, I started to get headaches, I started to have joint pain, muscle aches, and these things just continued to get worse and worse. But you know what? I had a phenomenal career. I was a single parent. Many people relied on me, and no matter what, I was going to keep going, right? Like we're told, oh, just keep going. Well, I went to doctors, and the doctors did labs, and the labs showed that I was in perfect health. And so what did I do? I just was like, suck it up. There's nothing wrong with you, Tali. Keep going. Well, the symptoms got worse and worse. And here, 2014, this was the top of my head. I had an absolute emotional meltdown. I was crying on my bathroom floor. That was my head. I was in my early 40s. I was told I'm just getting older. This sometimes happens to women. They lose their hair. Why? It just happens. They gave me tons of hormones. They gave me something called spironolactone, which is an anti-androgen. They gave me birth control. They gave me steroids, gave me a whole bunch of things. Meanwhile, along with this hair loss, I had exacerbating symptoms. I felt like I was dying. It was impossible sometimes to get up out of bed. When I asked the doctors, and I kept going, doctor after doctor after doctor, I went to every specialist that was out there. And I asked them, what could be causing this? Why is this happening to me? They're like, this just sometimes happens. Your labs are normal. Since your labs are normal, you're absolutely fine. You can see here, I had a MRSA infection suddenly pop up on my face. I still have the scar from it. So this MRSA infection literally was eating my face. I needed multiple antibiotics, steroids, you name it. I asked, why is this happening? I went to infectious disease doctors, rheumatologists, endocrinologists, other types of specialists. No one could give me an answer. And it got to a point where I had over 50 symptoms. You can see just some of them that were taking place. 15 years of progressive illness to the point where I could not get out of bed. And all quality of life was gone. I ended up having a conversation with my parents, and I said, I think it's time for us to come to the conclusion that I need, we should go to Sweden and consider assisted suicide. I was not heard, I was not seen, and I was not offered any solutions, and I felt my life was over. So what do you think? What was the cause of all of this? What was at the root cause of all of this? Well, you know. Well, the thing is that we have to address the root cause in order to get to the bottom of our health issues. And in my case, It was my breast implants. I had breast implants. I don't have them anymore, but my breast implants were full of toxic black mold that had been leaking in my body for 15 years. Now, after I had them out, it's not like the next day I got better. I went back to those doctors and I said to them, this was the root cause of my illness. And they said to me, that could not be the reason for all of your health issues. But nice guessing. Well, that's when I realized that I needed to go back to school in order to learn me and heal myself. And that's exactly what I did. And so this is me today. Thought I'd show it off. Even 2 years ago, I was still struggling with health, but I have gone back to school. I've learned how to focus on the root cause. And what I do is advanced cellular testing and one on one coaching to help people address the root cause. Now, the tests that are in conventional medicine do not address root cause. But when we look at the cellular health, which is at 80 biomarkers, we're able to identify things. I could have seen this had I had those tools back in the day. So using diet and lifestyle, I'm able to help people to address all the symptoms and things that they struggle with. So who I am today, well, as I said, doctorate in functional medicine, and I help people feel younger and live better by addressing the root cause of their health issues with diet and lifestyle.
Wonderful.